I'm so excited. This is my new mountain bike for this year. I've been riding my gravel bike a lot lately and absolutely loving it, but I am still missing that really aggressive fun bike that I can take to mountain bike parks and have a bit of fun on. This is going to fill that gap. It's a Trek Roscoe. It's probably about 4 years old now, and it's lived a hard life as a rental bike in our fleet. At the moment it's sitting there, it's got a whole lot of things wrong with it. It's completely unrideable. The brakes are broken, shifting like garbage. The dropper post doesn't work. It's gonna need a hell of a lot of work. And I mean, I could just, you know, fix the brakes and get it done, but to be honest, that's not what we do here. So first job today is gonna be stripping the bike right back down to the frame so I can get a good look at what needs to be done. And then, you know it's gonna happen, but there's gonna be a custom paint job on this thing. So I'm not sure what that's gonna look like yet. I've got a few ideas, but it's gonna come to me as we pull this bike apart. So the budget on this thing is super tight. I don't have much money to spend on this, so we've got to be a bit clever about where we spend our money. The paint job is obviously going to cost a bit, but it's going to be that Euro piece that really, you know, helps this bike along. I've got a few other little pieces, some spare parts lying around, and it's going to also mean that I've got to make do with what I've got. So probably the drivetrain. I know that the chain's reasonably new. We'll have to check that. I'll have to completely overhaul that rear derailleur. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's crack on here today, get this done really quickly, and then we get on to the fun stuff. That came off way too easy. So I've gone here with an extra large. Number one, it was the only bike that I could steal. And number two is that I think that with these bikes especially, having a bit more reach and a bit more footprint on the ground makes them a hell of a lot more fun to ride. Super fast on the down, slack, fast, aggressive. That's the goal with this one. So I might have to do a few little tweaks with, you know, maybe the headset or something like that to make it even more rideable. But for frame size, we're going extra large, or 21.5 that it normally comes in, which is one size up to what I normally ride. So we'll see how that goes. I must say it's far less daunting a project once it's like this. Oh. So last time I painted a frame, I stripped it right back to nothing. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently with this one. I want to try just sanding back most of the paint, getting all the high spots out the way, and then painting over the current primer that's on here. The paint itself's not in too bad a nick. There's a few dings and scratches here, but I think a bit of sanding will sort that out. Just, you know, trying something different. See how it works. I sanded up to 600 grit, so it's nice and smooth. I've scuffed the whole surface, so it's got a good purchase to get to. I've also wiped it down with a wet cloth and then some isopropyl alcohol with a microfiber cloth, so there's shouldn't be anything on this thing. Kind of ready for paint. Kind of goes to the point now where it's no touchy. But I've got a pretty ambitious plan. I do want to keep pushing myself with each bike that I do. It's kind of going to resemble the early 90s, maybe late 80s mountain bikes. That's the plan with that, and I've made a few cool graphics that are going to really test me on this. We've got 3 color graphics instead of before where I just did, you know, 1 color, separate color. Goal for today is just to get some of the real base colors on. I want to see how it lays over the sanding job, and also just get those initial ones, so the black underneath the big Trek logo and a few other little spots, get those base colors on, and then I'm going to start cutting out all the masking decals that are going to go on here. Yeah, big day. Alright. Oh, you've also would have noticed missing a bit here. What you think? Beard or no beard? Wifey thinks no beard, but you know. We're rocking the sprayed out bike again. This stuff was awesome last time. Really want to push it and see what we get out of this, so let's give it a go. So I was a bit hasty, as you can tell, and sprayed this without shaking it properly. Idiot. Everywhere else looks pretty good so far, but I'll just wait for that to dry and then I can sand it back and give it another hoon. In the meantime, let's cut some vinyl. So hopefully that doesn't mess up. That is all the vinyl I have left. If it doesn't work, then I'm gonna have to order some more and wait till next week. Fingers crossed. So unfortunately some of them didn't quite make it, but luckily instead of having to wait until next week, I found some of the vinyl that I used on Elena's bike. Technically it should work, but the stuff is a little different, so I'll use this pretty stuff on the non-drive side. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. We'll see. Right, so here's the bit I have no idea what I'm doing, with flames in pink and the skull in silver. Right, that's all the decals. Now it's time to get some masking tape and close in everything where I don't want paint. It's a pretty tedious job. Check back when I'm done, eh? Right, it's the next day. Got a bit hasty last night and cocked it up a little bit. I was trying to rush last night because today was going to rain and I wanted to get the first coat of main paint on before today. I can do some little bit of painting, you know, little dabs in the shop, but if I do any big stuff, it's got to be done outside, and today's meant to be raining all day, so I was a bit hasty and this whole thing peeled away. So kind of fixed it last night. I might have to do a little bit of sanding now before I get the big paint on. I'm pretty gutted with that, but it's one of those things, live and learn. A little bit nervous, not gonna lie. More nervous about all of this that I messed up. We're only gonna know once the colour's on and I pull that decal off whether it worked or not, and we're just gonna have to work with it. Right, welcome to my professional spray booth. Dog shit, shovel, old firewood, broken bin. If there was any ever doubt that you can't do this at home, check the setup. Well, that went okay. Probably needed 2 cans to be fair. Touched the fucking paint up there, so I'm gonna wait for it to dry up nicely and I can give that a little bit of sand. Also, these decals started lifting up for some weird reason. Might have been like as the paint's drying. Don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I don't think this is going to have worked, but we're going to see. Alright, so this is the one that I cocked up last night. So hopefully this comes off mostly silver. Oh, so far so good. or completely silver, and then this should, theory, come off pink. It doesn't look like much now, but it gets black over this, so. Oh, this vinyl shit. Just stick, man. Okay, I don't think I have very long, so I'm gonna mask up real quick, spray that, see how we go. Okay, hopefully that works. It looks pretty good. Just stay. Woo! Happy with that. Something's got to go right, eh? Look at this monstrosity of masking. So I'm super stoked with how it's turned out. It's had a few days to cure up, so it's nice and hard, the paint's nice and hard. The little imperfections that I've got from the vinyl lifting and a few blowover from spraying and stuff like that actually have added to the overall look that I wanted. I wanted like a real gritty kind of cool vibe to it. So I'm not going to go in and try to fix anything. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to hit it now with this Frame Builder's matte finish. This will lock everything in nicely, give it another layer of protection over the paint itself, and then I'll leave that for a couple days to cure again, so that before I do anything to this frame, put any parts on. What's the next job now is I'm going to go through all the parts that are going to go back on this bike, have a look what needs little touch-ups or needs a service or anything like that, and while this cures, that job should be done, and then we can start assembling the bike. We're going on holiday end of this week, and I want to take it with so I can rip it and have a blast on it. So most of the stock stuff is going to go back on this bike. I'm not going to do too many big upgrades. I do have some brakes that are going to get some upgrade, and maybe the handlebars, and the dropper seat's going to get an extra 10 mils. For now, what I'm going to do, I know this says it's a Super Roscoe, and that is the plan, to have something that's so sick and upgraded and everything, and the best hardtail it can be. For now, let's give everything a service, put it all back on this bike, see how it rides, and then we can have a good idea of, you know, what needs an upgrade and what doesn't. Okay, we're painting the fork, we've decided. Got all stickers off. I'm gonna do it without taking it all apart. I know that's a bit questionable, but yeah, if I take it apart, then I gotta put new oil and everything in it, and I just can't be arsed with that. I haven't decided whether it's gonna be black or pink, or black and pink, or whatever, so I put it on Instagram. Let the people decide. We'll go with that. So the people have spoken on the gram, and we're going pink crown with black lowers. I think that's going to be the coolest way to go. It's also going to make painting it a bit easier. The neon colors out of the sprayed up bike are real difficult to lay on accurately, so I was quite worried about painting all through here with the pink. And I think it's going to look the sickest. This is the last thing I've got to paint, and I think we can start assembling. Let's get this thing together. This is probably my last day, maybe a tiny bit I can do tomorrow. Got to get it done. Very excited. Let's get into it, eh? So I'm going to attempt to do some tubeless. It does have some rim tape on here, but I'm going to double it up with some Gorilla Tape because I don't have any other rim tape. I'm going to do that, and you know, it might work, it might not, because those tires are a little bit old, but there's only one way to find out. Tubeless is way better. Let's do tubeless. Got the wrong size. Bugger. I don't really want to put this back on because it's really ugly. Oh, maybe. Oh. I'll steal the one off there. Nice. Let me know if you think that e-bike should be the next project. So pretty much the only new stuff that's going on this bike: grips and pedals. I got some Chesters, I've always wanted some of these, and I got some race face lock-on grips. Give it a good vibe. Let's chuck them on. Most difficult bit for last. The shifter cable routing is a bit funny on this bike. What it does is it's got, you know, a short piece of cable here, and then the cable actually runs exposed through the frame, comes to another cable housing to the back, which is, I guess, slightly easier than trying to run that cable through the whole thing, but it's just a pain. Oh, nice. Sweet. Oh, what a mission. Now before we take it for a ride and get it nice and dirty, get a few scratches on it, I think we should just have a look at it. Sweet, thanks guys so much for watching. I had an absolute blast building this bike and making this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you get involved with the comments down below and maybe leave a like if you can. There's plenty of cool stuff coming. I've got 2 really exciting builds and a new piece of tech coming, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see more of this. But other than that, I think it's time to take it for a ride. I'll see you next time.